pick it up and fold it. I go to the next room and and here's some shoes that are out of place. So I'd pick them up and take them back to the room where they were supposed to go. And then there would be some dirty dishes in another room that I would take to the kitchen. And all the while I'm looking out windows and looking for my son and not finding him, but continuing on with these sort of daily activities, tidying up my house. And then suddenly, while I was in the middle of doing all of this minutia, a voice said to me, using my name, "Stop." And I was kind of startled. So I turned around. This is the first time I actually sought to find out who that was with me in my dream. I turned around and it was Jesus. And he said to me with so much love, he said, "If you do this, when I come to rapture you, you will be left behind." And then I will point our attention today to the parable of the 10 virgins. It's important to understand that they were all virgins. This is because they were Christians, right? They were members of the church. And they all went at first with their lamps full of oil. And they were waiting on their Savior. They were waiting for their groom. And 5 of them, as you know, first they all fell asleep. And I feel that the church, in a way, has been asleep for a while. We've been waiting on the Lord, and I think we've grown weary and tired and sleepy. But there came a point where there was a call, and they awoke. And this is where many of us are today. We're awake now. And some of them looked and saw that their lamps were without oil. And others had an extra oil that they brought with them. And they filled their lamps and lit them, and they were prepared and ready. And the 5 that had no oil, they had to go back to town to get oil in order to fill their lamps and light them. And while they were gone, they missed their opportunity to go into the wedding feast. And what this tells me is that there are going to be people who are Christians, who know the Lord, but they haven't really been faithful. They've kind of gotten lost in the minutia of life. They're kind of doing their thing, picking up shoes in this room, taking them to that room, folding blankets here, taking dirty dishes there. They're just kind of not really walking with the Lord. Maybe they don't read their Bibles. Maybe they don't pray. They might even go to church, but they just, maybe spend most of the time in church, looking at their phones. I mean, who knows, but they just really aren't plugged in to what Jesus really has for them to be doing. Some of them might even be in some kind of ministry, but they're just walking along, just paying attention to the minutia of whatever life it is that they're leading. Not really aware of who that person is that's behind them. Aware that there's a person there, but not really knowing who that person is. Not really knowing that person. And if you are in this condition, if this is how your walk with Jesus is, then he, in his love and great understanding, wants to tell you to stop. Make yourself ready. All of my life, I've been told that Jesus was coming back, but I never really thought that I would see it. I mean, okay, yeah, he's coming back. We all know that. But if you think about it, there's going to be a generation that is going to be alive when Jesus comes back. There's going to be a generation alive. And I really believe, as do many people out there on YouTube, that we are that generation. We are the ones that are going to see the rapture.